Hi, darling. Welcome back. I love what is happening on social media in the sense that we always keep women accountable for the men they choose to date. There's constantly this rhetoric that, hey, choose better men. And I love that the same energy was kept for Khaya Mthethwa, who is a pastor and a father, singer songwriter, and 2012 winner of Idols in South Africa. I love that people are keeping him accountable for the type of romantic partners he chooses, which is misaligned with his faith in terms of the optics. Obviously, we don't know these people personally, but from the optics, he has a pattern of dating a certain archetype of woman that doesn't fit the modest, conservative aesthetic of being a good Christian woman. We're going to go through the public's reaction to Khaya Mthethwa's recent relationship that has been making the rounds on social media. What I want us to do, we're going to read the tweets and I'm going to explain a few videos for context, and then I will add my breakdown. Why is this an issue? Why is it wrong that this pastor is dating someone who's considered a baddie? I want us to have a very open conversation. I'm not criticizing religion in this video. I'm criticizing the fact that there is a lot of misalignment in this conversation. There's a lot of misalignment with Khaya Mthethwa and certain decisions that he decides to make outside of the church, and especially someone with a high leadership position. There's this quote that I love. It says, "With great power comes great responsibility." And this is such a case. But before I add my breakdown, let's read the tweets. Okay, darling. The first tweet is from Musa. It says, "Khaya bags another baddie. Wonder what's his deal with baddies. While there are so many decent chicks he can who suit his church lifestyle." Kels says, "Mfundisi uthanda amabhedi. Kanti why is he mising the born-again Hans from church?" Jay says, "My worry about Mfundisi is he should have chose a different way to serve God, because his multiple marriage, and yes, he chooses the most controversial woman to be a Mfundisi. I am one person who speaks on living your truth, but his choice in women and his career, question mark. Lionheart, every man desires a hardcore ifebe. Deep down, we just end up settling for women with morals for minimal stress." BNSL is the last tweet. It says, "This one must step down as a pastor until he figures out whatever is going on with him. He can still be a Christian because Jesus died on the cross for him to be able to move weird. But he shouldn't be standing in front of a congregation." I am aware that Pastor Mthethwa is a human being, and human beings are fallible. We make a lot of mistakes, but we have to be honest. There is a consistent pattern with him. He tends to date women in the media, women who are very popular, women who have a certain look to them, and sometimes might wear revealing clothing. And for me, I don't have an issue with these women's aesthetics, but in the Christian sense, in terms of being conservative and being a woman of great character, there is an expectation that a woman who's going to be with a pastor should look a certain way. She should be covered up. And there is something that he said. There was this video that he made a few years ago that said he broke a lot of his relationships. He has hurt a lot of good people in his life. He has left a lot of good people in his life. And the women he attracts now after his exes are what he termed rubbish. Here is the video.
Ngihlale ngithi ngami, the boat sengisho ngiyaconfess, the train yomshado yangishiya. Because I've lost too many great people. Now I'm attracting rubbish. I'm sorry. Athi ngikhuluma ngami ngikhuluma ngawo. So why uphatheka kabi? Angakuphathi kabi. Ngidilile nayo lento le.
Apparently, Khaya Mthethwa is dating rubbishes now, and the church congregation and social media are not happy. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. You know, some of these trending topics, I just think to myself, why do you guys want me to talk about this? Because what a wow, my darling. You know, it's so important to know the room that you're occupying and the stage that you have been granted, right? And I understand that we're in this era where people are more authentic, they're speaking more truth to their lived experiences, even in the church space, right? That has traditionally been very rigid. But there are still ways that you have to say something to get your message across. And what Khaya said, and the way he said it, was just out of order. You know, I don't know much about church because I don't go to church. I don't know much about the Bible, even though I've read bits of it. But I know that you can't call another person a rubbish, right? You can't call other people's children rubbishes. Khaya Mthethwa has been known to date really famous, beautiful women. And he's blundered them. He's fumbled them. And now he chooses a church sermon to talk about his dating life. And not only that, but to call other people's children rubbishes. Talk about a man who doesn't respect women. Talk about a man who doesn't know the position he occupies. Talk about a man who doesn't know the power of his influence. And talk about a man who's entitled. So entitled that he's not aware that the experiences you have a lot of the time mirror who you are. So if he's dating rubbishes, maybe it's because he's giving rubbish out. I don't know, because I don't know the man. But I'm just saying, you know, it's giving immature. It's giving misogyny. It's giving what the heck? It's giving, do you know that you were in church saying this? Do you know that people see you as a leader? What is going on? So guys, this is just a great lesson in knowing the stage that you occupy and the room that you're in. Speak appropriately for the spaces that you're in. You can still be yourself. You could have still spoken about making the wrong decisions in dating and taking accountability for it. But to call other people rubbishes makes it seem like it's their fault instead of him. He's the problem because it's his dating experience and he needs to fix it and he should be accountable, not the other people who he is bashing live jive at church. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, let's talk about it in the comment section below. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think it was okay what he did and people are just overreacting, or do you think that he needs to be, you know, spoken to because he shouldn't be doing things like that? Let's talk about it.
Yes, Pastor Mthethwa or Khaya Mthethwa is a human being, like I said before, but when he states that the women he attracts now are what he considers rubbish, is an indicator of something. There is a level of accountability that has to be stated in this conversation, and we need to be honest. I know I might trigger some people because I'm talking about someone who's in a very high leadership position and in a religious position. That might trigger people. This is not to attack the faith at all, but he has a pattern. And if you understand pattern recognition, he tends to date a certain specific type of women. When there are women within the church who I know would be a great fit for him. There are a lot of great women within the churches who are conservative, who have a certain aesthetic, who choose to be more softer, more of these women who are not out in the spotlight. But Khaya Mthethwa seems to like women who are in the spotlight. And if he says he's attracting rubbish, and we have to basically point out, at a certain point, are you truly attracting rubbish, or is that a reflection of who you are when you're not in front of the church, when you're not preaching or singing and being in this position of power? Who are you when the audience isn't watching? Because at a certain point, He can't keep saying that the problem is with the women he attracts. And yes, we all want love, we all want relationships, and attraction is important, but there are many beautiful women in the church. There are many beautiful, good Christian women within the church. Why is this problematic? It's problematic because when we talk about image and respectability politics, there's a certain expectation for a pastor. He is in a higher position. Like I said, great power comes great responsibility. Therefore, the woman he dates needs to be a reflection of his actual values. And now it's seeming that there is a contradiction there. There's a bit of hypocrisy there because the woman who he prefers seems to be a certain type, and that basically makes people question what truly is your value. Do you value the club hands? Do you value the women who want to show off for Instagram? Or do you value the actual women within your congregation who are more reserved, more not out there, not popular? He seems to want women in the limelight. And someone even said that he is like the Edwin Sodi of pastors because he dates baddies consistently. It's not to say that there's any, I don't care about the politics of how people feel about baddies, because there's always been beautiful women. There've always been women who love being in the limelight. There's always been those women. But there's also women who are not like that. And when you are a pastor, there is a higher expectation for you, if we're being honest. There's a higher expectation of who you date, who you hang out with, and who you share your values with. And whoever you choose is a reflection of you. Therefore, it's either, if you're going to be a pastor, fully immerse yourself into it and not be in between two worlds. He has to fully immerse himself. Or more drastic measures, I feel like if you're truly not fully invested into this, he needs to step down, fully commit to your career, fully commit to your purpose or your faith, or truly be the thing that you desire. Because this is creating confusion, because there's another point that I want to point out. The other point is hypocrisy. If he dates these type of women, he cannot preach about modesty and vanity and purity. Like, he cannot preach about those things, because the women he dates or have dated in the past reflect those values, those opposite values. To be in the limelight is to be social media famous. It involves a level of vanity. It involves a level of, you have to be kind of use your sex appeal to get attention. You have to do those things. And if he preaches about anything against these type of women, it's hypocritical, because those are the women you're truly attracted to. You can't speak about modesty, purity, and vanity, about how these things need to basically be unpacked, that vanity is wrong and modesty is good and purity is good, when the type of woman you choose to date do not reflect those values. It makes him a hypocrite in a sense if he's going to preach about those things. And that's what I'm saying. He needs to fully immerse himself into one space. He's either going to be a worldly man or a man of the cloth, a man within the church in every single aspect. He's a human being, yes, but he has chosen to be in this position. He has chosen to pursue this position and created music and everything within the gospel. So he has to fully commit if this is truly where his purpose is. Another factor is influence. He might lose his credibility if he continues on this pattern, because you can't tell people not to do these things, like go out, go to the clubs, do this, when some of the women you date are in that lifestyle. Or you can't tell people to dress modestly, cover up, when the women you date are not women who cover up. And this is not to say there's anything I want to say and criticize the women, but he has to choose which part of the world he wants to be in. The worldly world of beauty, vanity, nightlife, fun stuff, or he chooses the path that he is in currently and fully be a part of it. The last issue that I want to point out is cultural clash. There is cultural clash, and I think that is why all his relationships seems to not work out. The baddie lifestyle and the Christian faith, it's very different lifestyles. It's nightlife for the baddie lifestyle, it's social media, it's beauty, it's aesthetics, it's basically money, loving money, it's all those things, it's flashing luxury. Whereas the church is different, those values clash. And I think, I don't know him. Obviously, I don't know him. I'm not a relationship counselor, but those are apparent factors. You can't keep having the same trouble in relationships, yet you keep choosing the same archetype. What is wrong with choosing the women in the church? Because I know there are amazing women in the church. There are. He just doesn't want the women within his church. Because we can't keep letting someone slide and say these things when he's consistently choosing this archetype. The same way when a woman chooses toxic men, we say, choose better men. We can also say to Khaya Mthethwa, choose better women. I want us to have an honest conversation in the comment section about this, and I don't want to criticize the Christian faith because I also have my own belief, and it's a very personal relationship when it comes to religion. I don't want to share that because that is a personal thing. But I want us to have an honest conversation, because can a pastor date baddies like the influencers, the actresses, the media personalities? Is it aligned with the Christian faith? Or is it aligned with the moral standards that come with being in such a powerful position? Is it okay to not keep someone accountable when he continues choosing the same pattern? And I know, like, yes, people will say, why do we care? Why are we criticizing his relationship? He is a public figure. And once you become a public figure, he's public about his faith, he's public about his relationships. Therefore, we will all have an opinion on what he chooses to put out there or what we see out there. He is choosing this position of power. If he doesn't want this criticism, he could leave that position of power. What do you think about this? Should pastors date baddies, or is it too misaligned? Is it too incompatible of the worlds to merge together? I want to hear your opinions in the comment section. And if you got to the end of this video, leave a candle in the comment section, a candle emoji. Okay, darling. Bye-bye.